Hey, welcome back to Freedom Hillbilly. Today we're going to show you how to set up a frame of reference for your topographic survey and create a local coordinate system by tying into existing property bounds and monuments that we found on a traverse. So stick with us. Now, in a previous video, we did a traverse around the property and uncovered or discovered 3 monuments. They were iron pipes in the ground, and 2 of those 3 monuments were referenced in the deeded legal description to the property. Now, it turns out that there is a survey to this property. It was done in 1954 of a larger 700-acre, huge parcel, and the Society of Protection of New Hampshire Forests was so kind as to provide us with that. Now, on that particular survey, there's no mention of that 3rd iron pin that we found in the field. So it's a little mystery that we have to solve. But we're going to approach this as if we don't have the survey, but we have found these 3 iron pipes in the ground, 2 of which we know appear in the legal description. So, in establishing a local coordinate system, meaning we got a Cartesian coordinate system, we want to pin the origin at 0, 0, we're gonna use those bounds to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and set up our prisms over those 3 monuments. So let's get to it. So here we are at our first point. We'll call it point A. It's the point of beginning in the legal description. So it's a great place to start. We're going to go ahead and set up our prism right over this point, and the way we're going to do that is by removing this, because it's not really in the ground very well, and setting it up right exactly over that point. Now, we could use one of our rebar caps and plug the hole to get a point right there, but this will fall in the hole. The hole is so big. We're going to just go ahead and put the stone over it and go into the center of that. We now have our prism pole sit directly over the boundary point. It's an 8-foot extension so that we can achieve the line of sight back to the total station. And it's been plumbed using the little plumb level on the rod. So as you can see, we can't see the total station behind us because the incline, the grade, the slope is much too steep. And that's why we've had to extend the pole to 8 feet. And I don't like extending the pole that much, but sometimes you have to do it. So let's go ahead and set up that second prism. So here we are at the second point. We'll call it point B, which is on the deed, it's the end of stone wall. And that's where the iron pipe that we found is. We'll set right up over that. And you can see it's the corner of the stone wall. We got a lot of rock. We got a fence post here with the remnant stockade wire fence that goes along the line. We also have the blazed tree with the 3 red marks and the society's tag, which they put there in 1983. Now, the important thing here, which we'll get into a little bit later, is this is the southernmost point of the parcel. Our point A, or point of beginning, that is the northernmost point. Geographically, when you find true north, this is pretty much due south of the point of beginning. We'll get back to that later on, but just remember that. So on this one, we only have it extended to 6 feet, and that's adequate to have the total station line of sight in. So let's go ahead and set up point C. Alright, so here we are at the 3rd monument that we found on our previous traverse, and like the point A, point C just lifts out of the ground. We're going to go ahead and put our rebar cap down there, and we're able to center this prism rod right over, and we have line of sight back to our total station. So now we have 3 prisms set up on 3 monuments that we found, 2 of which were in the legal description as property bounds I don't know if you can see it, but our total station is between these two little trees in the background. Line of sight. So we are now ready to set up our total station and create our reference frame, pin down our coordinate system. We're back at the total station. So now we have to decide exactly where on the coordinate system we want those 3 points to end up. Or conversely, how we're going to use those 3 points to set up a coordinate system. So here's the decision-making process. We could just say, oh, if point B is the southernmost point, then let's call point B our 0 origin, and then point A is our northernmost point of whatever distance this is. And that's what we would normally do, but we're not doing it normally today. And the reason is because of AutoCAD. We have a drawing program, it's AutoCAD, Civil 3D, and it has a fundamental structural limitation, and that is it always wants you to orient your plan with south at the bottom of the screen, north at the top of the screen. And we want to have this road that runs behind us on the bottom of the screen. So point A, which is the point of beginning, is at what we will consider the southernmost point. And point B, we will consider the northernmost point. So basically flip from reality, all because we just want that road to be at the bottom of our screen. So south at the bottom, north at the top, road at the bottom. And we have to do that in order to make our drawing experience seamless, smooth, efficient, and not frustrating. We'll get into more of that in another video, but just know this, that sometimes in the field, for whatever reason, maybe the zoning and planning board or the landscape architect already has the plan drawn a certain way, and you want to maintain that view orientation. So setting up your coordinates should follow, a prescribed way. So point A will be our point of beginning. It'll also be our coordinate origin, and we call that the 0 station with north 0, east 0, and elevation 1000. Now point B at the corner of the stone wall is going to be our northernmost point. So it's going to be north, whatever distance this is, which we will measure, and east 0. So that's how we're going to set our coordinate system. That's our frame of reference. What I want you to take away from this video is establishing a frame of reference. So we did one example tying into existing monumentation. I'll have another video for you showing you what to do when you don't have the property monuments to cite to. In that case, you're going to look for permanent benchmarks like well casings, sills, big boulders, or even create your own. That's for another time. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up right here. And in a subsequent follow-up video, we'll show you how to set up the equipment and do all the mechanics of actually getting all that data. So go ahead and hit that notification button right now so you won't miss one exciting episode of our surveying series. Because I want you to become the best surveyor you can be. Maybe even as good as me. Imagine that. No, I don't know about that, but anyway. Hey, it'll be fun.